morning, everyone. You almost had me with a hat and sunglasses on because for some reason it decided it was going to give me that too. I'm hoping that someone's going to join me. Maybe I'll just wait and see for a minute if somebody does decide to. And if not, then I hope you enjoy this when you watch it later. And oh, look, I've got a little person. It just says 1 and there's a little eye there. Say hi, whoever it is. Oh, 2 people. Okay, so I'm going to flip the screen and hi Katrina, how you doing? Welcome from England over, well, no, hang on a minute, what am I doing? There we go, that's better. Obviously I don't want to put my hand in sort of that side. Okay, I'm going to flip the screen and we are going to show everyone how to do what I'm going to show you today. Okay, flip the screen, there it is. Morning, Trisha. Right. Let's see. That was fairly painless today, actually. And I have a big thing to remind myself to stay in the middle of a screen so I'm not over here and you can't see what I'm doing, which I look back on the videos that I do and go, oh, why did I do that where I'm leaning over here and I'm doing something over here? So up on my blog the other day, Wednesday, I put up a post. I think I called it something like watercolouring for a watercolour challenged individual or something like that, because typically I'm actually really bad at watercolouring. So I thought I could show you my cheats way of watercolouring, and I actually love the effects that I got with this card. So don't forget, if you enjoy this video, share it around, so share the love. And remember that if you're in Australia and there's anything you see me using, you can purchase that with me. So just in Australia. Sorry, Katrina, you can't purchase through me because you're in England. Okay, so I thought in this card I didn't actually do this background, but I thought I'd show you how to do that too. And then I thought I'd show you how to make up the rest of these little pieces like this. So there's a few that I'd made earlier. It's like Blue Peter, isn't it? Here's some I made earlier. So we're just going to move those off to one side. And I'm going to start off and show you how to do this one to begin with. I don't know if you can see this on here, but there's actually a shimmer in this cardstock. So this is called the Shimmery white cardstock. And you can watercolour on this. And the other one I've used is actually the watercolour paper. So watercolour paper is a lot thicker. It will take heaps and heaps of water, and it won't warp, which is kind of cool. Whereas the Shimmery white, again, it'll take heaps and heaps, but eventually it will start to warp a little bit, and then you just need to press it down. So I made this one, and you can see how warped that is. So it's also on the Shimmery white. I do love that sort of shimmer that you get on it. I'm really hoping that you can actually see that. Anyway, if you can't, you can't. So because I don't want, see how this one got warped and this one isn't so warped. Let me bring myself back. The reason that this one isn't so warped is because I've actually attached it down onto something like this. So I'm just going to find the rest of my, it's gone. Let's find another one. So I'm using a bit of washi tape here. If I can find the end to it, there it is. And I'm just gonna pop down like that. Oopsie. So all I've used here is just a Ziploc bag, and I've put a bit of cardboard in underneath it so that it just stays. So I've actually attached the cardboard inside the Ziploc bag, but I just didn't want to get water everywhere all over my background paper and things. So this is my sort of way of doing like I said, cheats watercolouring. So to get this background, I have got, where is it? So I'm going to be using these 3 stamps and some of my subtles colours. So hopefully you can see all those. And the stamps are from this set here, which is called In Bloom. And it's such a cool set because it's got these really great sort of big images. I mean, they're not necessarily big, but they're nice and solid is the word I'm after. And I actually really like the way that the writing is. It's nice and clear, and yeah, I just really like it. And it also happens to come with these dies. I mean, goodness me, 25 dies in there. Wow. And they've all got this really cool stitched look to them. So I guess pierced blooms, you know, they've got that piercing look to them. Oh, piercing look. Anyway, moving on. Oh, it's a good job I can entertain myself, isn't it? So I have one of my stamping spritzers that ran out ages ago, and I've just added water into it. So all I'm going to do is just spritz down my cardstock. I want it nice and wet. There we go. That looks pretty wet all over. And now I'm going to go ahead and, oh, I need, okay, this is kind of a bit messy, just so that you know. Oh, and you don't want to do that. So after you have stamped it, just make sure that you're not going to be putting your wet thing. So I'm just going to add, so you keep adding water basically, but you don't want to keep adding water onto your ink pad. So just, as you can see, it's got a fair bit of water sort of on it, so hopefully this is making sense. And I don't want the extra water coming off there. And maybe one more in that corner. There we go. All right, so I now have that, and I'm going to add some more water, and we're going to move on to another colour. So what am I going to move on to? I wonder what I used on that one. Oh, I know. Let's go on to this one. This one is called Petal Pink. And I'm going to use this one here. And you just, again, I'm going to add some more water. Let's go around the edge of that. So you can see my cardstock is trying to curl a little bit, but because it's held down, it's not going to so much. And let's pick another colour. How about I go with some green? I didn't use green on the last one, and I fancy using a bit of green. I know I've got a flower for it, but you know, some flowers are green. Ooh, look at that one go. That's cool. Oh, I forgot to get rid of the excess water. There we go. All right. So I reckon that will probably do. I'm just going to grab some of that water off the edge there. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. Just moving it up a bit. So I'm going to add a wee bit more water onto there, just because I can. And okay, so you can kind of see that I'm just tipping it all into the corner there, just so that I can pick it up with my tissue and get rid of some of that excess water. And now we leave it. So it does take a little while to dry, So, oh, let me grab another tissue because I can see it's all pooling down here again. Obviously my craft room is on a bit of an angle here because everything seems to pool down to the bottom. If you wanted any more images to be a bit more focused, what you can do is you can sort of, as it starts to dry off a little bit, you can actually add one or two more, and you'll find that those ones are a little bit more I can't think of the right word for it. I'm really sorry. There we go. All right, so I'm just going to put that to one side, and hopefully it can dry over there, and it's I'm not actually going to put it on top of that. Let me just pop it down on the floor there. Okie dokes. And then we're going to move on to creating these flowers. So I have a whole heap that I have cut out using my dies. As I say, I was using these dies here, so you can see that one is that one there, and then we've got this one here. Hopefully you saw that one, that one, that one. Yep, stay in the middle, Heather. We got that, no, that one, and so on. So it's those ones there. Yeah. Anyway, yes, you get the picture. And just gonna move them all off there for the time being. And so this one, I am going to use a couple of blank blocks. So what we do is we enter, da-da-da, the water painters. So there are 3 water painters now. Now, last year they revamped these, and I wasn't going to get them, to be perfectly honest. And then I sort of looked at them and went, oh, they actually are so much better than the old ones. So you've got one that is a nice flat brush like this. Now with a water painter, what happens is the water stays in sort of this end of it, and all you do is push it a little bit and you start getting water out. So you'll see water. Let's just pop that one back in. So a nice flat brush, and then you've got 2 other brushes, and they are distinctly different, which is kind of nice, because I know with the last lot of aqua painters that we used to have, there was 2 that looked like this, and they really weren't that much different. So so I'm actually quite pleased that they are, you know, noticeably different. So anyway, I'm going to be using the big flat one. So gonna get my flower all nice and damp using that. So you can see I'm just using my silicone sheet underneath with this one, just to make sure that I don't end up with water everywhere again. And we are going to go with, so I reckon that one just about covers it. So ink up this and just shove it on. And then it's a little bit messy, admittedly. But there you go. Ta-da! Watercoloured. You need a lot of tissues with this method. So we've got one colour on there now. We're just going to give it a bit of a dry off. And I reckon that it would kind of look nice with another colour on it. So I'm going to go with a bit of this one, which is So Saffron. And where's my watercolour pen? So just going to add a bit more colour. Oh. And when your pen starts getting a bit of colour on it like that, just run it off on your tissue so that it ends up nice and clean again. Now with this, what you can do is you can just dab it on. And there you go. One watercoloured flower. How cool! How easy! I like nice easy things. So then we just take that and we move it off to one side onto a scrap bit of paper. There's a scrap bit of paper. All right, gonna move it off onto there. And we're going to go with the next one. So the next one, what colour do I want to do this? Oh, I love this purple, Highland Heather. You know, for someone who's not really a purple person, this is just gorgeous. So let's just pop lots and lots of water on there. And there it is. Now, if you think that's too dark, what you can do is you can add more water and blot it, and it will just become lighter. And there's another really cool thing that you can do with it. So I'm just going to add a second colour to this one before I do the really cool thing. So I'm going to go with a bit of balmy blue because I really love the purple and the blue together. So it's gonna, there's a little thing here that says push on each side, so I'm pushing, and it just releases a bit more water for you. So lots more water on there, ink it up, there we go, clean that off like that. And then, so we'll dry that off a bit. There we go. Ooh, what a gorgeous colour is that. How cool, love it. Okay, so if you want to add some like little dots onto it, for example. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna add like little, oh, bother it, that was a bit too much. Might need to let it dry out a wee bit more actually. So I don't know if you can see, I've just added like a drop of water into the middle there, and it's not working. Okay, I'm going to have to leave it till it dries out a wee bit, this one. I wonder if I could do it with this one. This one's a bit drier. Let's see if it works with this. Oh, completely the wrong aqua painter, water painter. So we're just going to... Not sure whether it's working. The idea is that you can put a droplet onto there, it soaks in a little bit, and then when you sort of take the droplet back off again, it has made it, I wonder if I'll just try it with one of my ones that's already dry. So we'll leave that to soak in a little bit because it does need to sort of stay on the surface rather, well, no, that's not quite what I want to say. It needs to sort of just soak into the one spot rather than what it was doing with these ones, because the paper's already damp. It was actually just going bleh and going everywhere. There's a good word, isn't it? Bleh. So in theory, now that it's had a minute to soak, yeah, there you go. Can you see the slight discoloration there? So it's actually taken some of that colour out, and it gives you a bit more of a mottled look. So if you want to create more of a mottled look, that's the way to do it. So I'm just going to go ahead and do some of the green leaves. We have two greens here. I've got my soft sea foam, which you can barely see, and the Pizzazz, which is much clearer. And we're just gonna, actually, you know what? Gonna pop all my leaves on. Ho ho, go for a leaf frenzy. Like I said, it's a good job I can keep myself entertained, isn't it? Get back there. Okay, let's just do those four. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I feel like that one's dried out now. 4. And then I'm just going to add the Pear Pizzazz. I'm just going to go with a little bit of that too. Oh, uh-oh. Okay, that was bad idea. I should have added more water. Always remember, add more water. And that one, so, oh, yikes. Okay, well, sometimes you can actually do it the other way around, so potentially let's just add more water. Hope this doesn't fall apart on me. And the other thing I have done before is just, you see how I've got bits of green on the pad already? So just going to pick up some of those bits of green with this. There we go. Not so keen on that one, but it might dry all right. It's funny how when you do the watercolouring, you sort of look at how it looks and you go, oh, well, that wasn't quite what I had in mind. Let's just add a wee bit more coloured water to that. There we go. Oh, and last green one. Uh-oh. I'll just give that a quick clean off. Sure you're getting the hang of this by now. So if you have a go at this, do show me what you create. Put it down in the comments below. And I am gonna... Uh-oh. As I say, you get through a number of tissues using this. And just give it a squeeze. There we go. All right. Just gonna persuade that back into its lid and get rid of those. So it's fairly warm in here, so let's see how that other one is going with its drying. See whether it's dry yet. We're not quite there, but not far off. I reckon I can dry off some of that now. Oh, look at that. It's all puffing up. So you can see that's how it's going to dry now. So it's got that slight background to it. Where's the other one gone to? Yeah, it's just because I've used the green instead of whatever it was. I think I used the blue in this one. I used the green in that one. So you can see the difference between the two. Anyway, moving on to actually creating a card out of it. And somewhere around here I put the components to make the card. Obviously not somewhere obvious. Seriously, Heather, what have you done with it? Really did put it down here somewhere really obvious so that I could get to it. Oh, here it is. Haha. Okay. Let's just move those out of the way. Haven't coloured them all in yet, but that's okay. So what I've done is, after taking this one off, I've then trimmed around the edges to get it so that it doesn't... You'll see when you take this one off... Oh, let's just... You'll see that you end up with sort of a little white edge to it. So some of it might come off with the washi tape as well. But you just trim all that off so that you end up with something that looks a lot nicer than having sort of white, rough-looking edges around it. Get rid of that. And let's find my stamping seal. Remember, if you're using the stamping seal, start off with it almost sitting on the cardstock, and then by the end you tip it right up and you take it off. And we're going to pop that onto there. Well, close enough. And then that can sit onto there, and then we decide which way round we want our card to be. So potentially let's bring in some of these pieces. Just a case of adding everything sort of however you want it to look, really. So I was wondering, actually, you know, the other thing I was thinking about doing was having it as like a bow down the bottom, and then you have all your flowers up the top. Those ones still need colouring in, and still a little damp, so I can't put it together just yet. But potentially, I actually quite like that background. Gives it a bit of a difference to this. And then the other thing that I've used on this one is I've used some of these, oh my goodness, absolutely gorgeous pearls. So these are called Pastel Pearls. How beautiful are they? Oh, yes, well, so you can see that I've grouped up 3s of them, and oh my goodness, I missed a flower. How could I do that? Okay, I'm just going to add one to that flower. Which colour am I going to go with? Ooh, what colour, what colour? Okay, maybe I'll go with one of the dark purples. Just because I can. There we go. How could I miss a flower? Honestly. So, yeah, there you go. So, as you can see with this one, I've actually also drawn a line down the back of it. So, I've used one of my aqua painters just to ink up and draw a line. When you ink up, just a quick aside here, did you know that you can take, that's probably not the best example because it won't show up very much, but if you squeeze your ink pad together, you will find that it gives you a nice pool of ink on there. You can ink up your aqua painter, and you can take a scrap bit of paper, in my case, and you can just draw a line. And then afterwards you need your spare bit of kitchen roll or whatever, and you just squeeze the aqua painter until the colour actually goes from it. So as it just pushes the water out, it just pushes the colour out with the water. So now I've made quite a mess here. That's you know, fairly normal. Let's pop some things back together again. So there you go. So what I'll do is I'll complete the card and I'll post it up in a bit. And oh, I was going to show you something else. Ooh. So I'm looking forward to February because, you know, I do that. And in fact, I'm incredibly organised this month, looking forward to February. And I have made up the cards for next month already. Yeah, I know. How organised is that? Really, really not me. So I'm going to show you what I used for them first of all. So I used that's the celebration. Oh my goodness, I've got the same one. Hang on 1 minute. Let me just find the other one. This would be good if I wasn't showing you exactly the same thing. So in the new catalogue, has everyone got this? Okay, so this is the new mini catalogue. Goes from January to June, and oh, it's got some good stuff in it. So it has this bundle, which is really cool because you can cut out your strawberries, and so you can cut out your strawberries, your leaves, and the little thing that goes on top of the strawberry, and some cute little flowers. And I really love the fact that you can stamp your strawberry, and then you can colour your strawberry in, and you can add your leaves, and you can colour your leaves, and you can add your flowers, and you can colour your flowers all in one go. How amazing is that? I think it's really cool anyway. And then if you spend $180 from the catalogues, you can actually then pick what's called a celebration item. So hang on 1 minute. This is the celebration catalogue. So if you've got one of these and you haven't got one of these, let me know, or vice versa. Okay. So the celebration catalogue, usually what happens is you can pick $90 of goodies from any of the other catalogues, and you pick something out of this for free. So $90 will give you the paper blooms, or the Darling Donkeys stamp set, or the Approaching Perfection stamp set, or the Oh So Ombre stamp set, Corner Bouquet, Heal Your Heart, and the Flower and Field designer series paper. So then it moves on to $180. So $180 you can get this stamp set, which is called A Touch of Ink, and it's got a lot more stamps in it than you'll find in the other sets. Or bum, ba, da, bum, this one here. Oh my goodness, this paper is just gorgeous. So spend $180, you can get this stamp set plus the papers, okay, for free. That is. So this is the other stamp set. No, this one here, sorry. And it's got your little blueberries or whatever sort of berries you want to call it, with some other bits, some grapes and some leaves, for the want of saying what exactly they are, because I'm not 100% sure. I'm not a gardener. And I thought I would quickly show you what I have created for February. So first up, there's this one. Then there's this one. So you can see I've stamped and I've used some of the papers. So, oh, gorgeous papers. Oh my goodness, both sides of the paper are absolutely stunning. And the last one is that one. So if you fancy joining me for one of these ones, I have a couple of different options on my blog. So hop along to my blog and check it out, okay? And thank you so much for joining me this morning. I hope you've enjoyed it, and don't forget to share the love. All right, see you then. Bye.